Hi guys, welcome to my channel. This is my first ever video. I'm gonna be doing a get ready with me and also a story time on the time that my fiance met my family and they found out about him. If you can please give me a like, comment, subscribe, turn on your bell notification. Let's get into the video. Okay, so today we're gonna be using the Maybelline New York Eye Studio, the color brown. It's actually an eyeliner, but I use it as a eyebrow dip, and it works really fine. I've used it since I started doing my makeup. I'm doing my eyebrows, so don't pay attention to that. Okay, so I remember, so when I first met my fiance, I was still going to school, high school. I met him through a mutual friend, but we were together, and my dad and my brothers they've always been real overprotective about me. I'm the smallest one. I'm the smallest one out of 3 older brothers. So imagine how that is. So they actually found out because of my niece, the smallest one. Her name is Haley. You'll see her a lot in my videos. She was still little. She wasn't going to school. And one day, I hadn't gone to school for a reason. I forgot. I think I was sick. And because I was watching Haley, I had stayed home. So she ended up going with me. I went to his house and we went to Chuck E. Cheese. So because he was like, what are you doing? And I was like, nothing. And he hadn't worked because he had got rained out. So I had went to his house and he was like, let's go to Chuck E. Cheese. Let's take Haley to Chuck E. Cheese. So I'm like, okay, let's go. So we went, and I remember the date. We went to Chuck E. Cheese on 45, and we were there, but it was weird because we were the only people there. Like, there was nobody else there. It was just me, him, and Haley. And then this other guy got there with his daughter. So keep in mind, it was just us, like me, my fiance, Haley, and then a man and his daughter. So we were there, and Haley was having the time of her life. So we ended up leaving, and before we left, he bought her a Chuck E. Cheese doll. So we would go out, and I would always take Haley with me, go get ice cream, or we'll go to Chuck E. Cheese or do anything. So that day, I had told Haley, I was like, so okay, Haley, remember, we didn't go with Rodrigo. We went with my friend. I'm gonna call her Salma. I was like, we went with Salma. We didn't go with Rodrigo. So she's like, okay, tia. So I ended up getting home, and I went into the bathroom, and my other nephew Noah was here, and he goes, Haley, where did you get the Chuck E. Cheese doll? She said, oh, I went to Chuck E. Cheese with Salma, not Rodrigo. So I'm in the restroom, and I'm like, oh, did she really just say that? So my nephew was like, what? And then she was like, I went with Salma, not Rodrigo. And I'm like,
why are you crying?
She was screaming this. She was screaming, I went with Salma. I didn't go with Rodrigo. So I ran out the restroom, and I'm like, Haley, no, like, you're supposed to say, I went with Salma. That's it. Not, I didn't go with Rodrigo. She goes, oh, okay, tia. And I'm like, oh my God. But my older brother didn't hear anything. So that was way back. That was like probably like a month ago, like a month before. So like a month later, I was getting ready because we were going to, we had planned a surprise party for my sister-in-law. So I was getting ready that day, and my brother, like, he had already like figured that I had a boyfriend. So because I would like post things, and he would comment on them. So he ended up finding out who he was. My brother's a stalker, dude. So he went to his page, and he was like, oh, like, this is your boyfriend, and da-da-da. So then they ended up finding out also because Haley decided to be, they were at home, and Haley was playing with the Chuck E. Cheese doll. She was like, oh my God, I love this Chuck E. Cheese doll. I love this Chuck E. Cheese doll. What did she say? She was like, I love it. It's my favorite toy ever. So my sister-in-law was like, who bought that for you? And then Haley goes, Loligo. Because that's what she calls him. She doesn't call him Rodrigo. It's Loligo. So Sarah was like, what? And she goes, oh, yeah, Loligo. And she goes, who's Loligo? And then she goes, Tia's friend. So then my sister-in-law started laughing, and my brother ended up hearing her. She's like, what did you say? And then she was like, yeah, Loligo bought it for me. So then my brother, like, she noticed and my brother got mad. And then she goes, who did you go to Chuck E. Cheese with, Haley? Salma. And then she goes, don't lie to me, Haley. So then my niece told him everything. And I was getting ready here, and my brother came to drop off my niece because they were gonna go out. So I was getting ready, and my brother goes, like, he's like, where you going? And I'm like, to a party with Salma. And then he was like, oh, okay. He was like, all right. But he had already knew. He had like an idea. So we ended up going. I ended up I was about to leave, and he was gonna come and pick me up. He was gonna come and pick me up at my house, but I was like my brother was here. My brother is the type, when somebody picks me up, like my friends or my cousins, he always goes outside, always. And that day we were here, and I was like, I had texted him. I was like, hey, like, don't come. Like, I'll tell you when to come because he's here, and I know he's gonna go outside. I was scared. I was so scared. Keep in mind, I'm 18, and I was still scared. So I was like, just don't come yet. And he's like, okay, just let me know when to go. And I'm like, okay. So I'm getting ready, and then my brother's talking to my dad, and I hear him because I have a cousin. She's like 2 years older than me, and she presented her boyfriend to her family like probably like a year before that. And he was like, man, I want a cuñado. Like, he's like, I want a brother-in-law. He goes, I see how Leslie took Oscar. Like, I want a brother-in-law. Like, he started saying that. Like, he started saying it, and I'm like, like, why is he saying that? So I already knew he was gonna say something, so I got really nervous, and I texted my boyfriend, and I was like, hey, like, I'm not gonna go. Like, I'm sorry. Like, my brother's like, I'm like, my brother told me to my parents that I have a boyfriend, and I'm not gonna go. He's like, no, you have to go. Like, you helped us plan the party. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I was like, I can't. Like, I'm really scared. So he ended up telling me like, no, like, I'll meet them. Like, just tell them, like, you know what I mean? I'm like, no, like, but I was like, I was already planning on my dad meeting him, because I kept telling my dad, I was like, Dad, like, I have a boyfriend. And my dad wouldn't believe me. He would think I'll play like, oh, estás mensa. And I was like, no, like, I really do have a boyfriend. Like, I want you to meet him. And he was like, no, like, you're just playing. And I was like, I really do. But I would always say him, like, I would tell him, like, every, like, other day, I'll be like, oh, my boyfriend wants to meet you. Oh, my boyfriend wants to meet you. But he never believed me. He'll be like, no, you're lying. So I was like, all right, whatever. So that day, my brother called me into the kitchen, and it was my dad, my mom, my brother, my sister-in-law, and then my dad, my mom, nobody, my brother, my sister-in-law, and me. I was sitting right next to my dad. So my brother was like, hey, I need to ask you something. And I'm like, what happened? And he's like, who's Rodrigo? And I was like, I didn't know what to say. Like, I was in shock. But I had already knew. But I was like, I didn't know how to respond to him. And I just stayed quiet. I'm like, why? Oh, I said, why? He goes, is that your boyfriend? And I was like, yeah. And then he goes, like, he was like in shock. He was like, did she really just tell me yes? Like, was she really just honest with me about it? And then he was like, what the hell? Like, so my dad looked at me like, are you serious? Like, what is wrong with you? And I'm like, he is my boyfriend. Like, I have nothing to hide. Like, he is my boyfriend. I was like, I've been telling you. There's weeks. It's been weeks that I've been telling you that I wanted you to meet him, and you never listened to me. So he was like, no. He's like, you're lying. And I was like, I'm being serious. Like, and then my brother was like, it really is her boyfriend. Like, I guess my brother wanted me to lie so he can be like, oh, look, like, I have proof that that's your boyfriend. So I was like, how do you know about him? And he said, my homeboy went. He's like, you remember my homeboy, his name is, well, I'm not going to say his name, but my homeboy John. He's like, you remember my homeboy John? I'm like, yeah. He goes, well, he went to Chuck E. Cheese whenever you went. He's like, and he saw you, and he noticed Haley. And he said, hey, bro, I seen your little sister and Haley with some dude. So I'm like, I'm in mind, I'm like, he's lying. Like, that day, there was nobody there. Like, it was just me, him, Haley, and then a guy and his daughter. Like, and that was not John. Like, that was not him at all. So I was like, Haley told you. He's like, no, she didn't. I'm like, yes, she did. So then I was like, and then my brother called Haley. And then Haley was like, he was like, Haley, who's Rodrigo? And then she goes, Tia's friend. I was like, see? I was like, she told you. He was like, nah. He's like, but my homeboy really did see y'all. I was like, no, you're lying. So keep in mind, like, my brother knew everything about this man, about my boyfriend. He knew his truck. He had got his license plate off of a picture of his truck. He knew his address. Like, my brother knew everything, like, everything. So, like he knew what he worked in. He knew all of that. So, like, I was like, man, whatever. So then I ended up just going, and we went to, he ended up leaving, and they still let me go to the party. And I went, and, like, I was like, well, they know about you. And he was like, for real? Like, and he kept telling me, he's like, I want to meet your dad. I want to meet your dad. But I'm like I was like, I know. I wanted him to meet him too, because I wanted him to come around. Because usually with my family, we have, like, not so much Sunday fun days, but, well, yeah, Sunday fun days. Like, every Sunday we go out to eat, or every Sunday we go to the pulga, or, you know, we do different things, but as a family. So I've always, like, wanted him to come with us, like, always. So I kept telling my dad. I was bugging him for weeks. I was like, come on, Dad, like, I want you to meet him. So, like, my boyfriend was happy at the fact, because he's been telling me that he wanted to meet my parents. But I was, like, scared. But at the same time, I was like, I wanted to. Not so much because he was my first boyfriend, but it's like, I knew, you know what I mean? Like, there was something about him that made me, you know what I mean? Like, know that I wanted to spend the rest of my life with him, basically. So, I ended up telling my dad, and my dad kept saying no. He goes, I'm not ready. I was like, please, Dad. I was like, I want you to meet him. Like, I want to be able to go out with him. I want him to come to the house. And my dad was like, for what? What do you want him to come to the house for? I'm like, because I was like, I want him to come over here. Like, I know you're not going to be letting me go out a lot. And then, like, I started telling him, and he was like, no. Until one day, I remember, I had got out of school, and we had went to, I had got out of school, and my dad was here making a carne asada. Because my dad is like, they usually, like, randomly, like, if it's a pretty day outside, he likes to make, like, a cookout, just randomly. So I told him, I was like, well, hey, let me invite him over here. Like, he'll bring meat, like, he'll bring beer, like, let me invite him. And he was like, no, I'm not ready. I'm like, when are you gonna be ready? And he was like, Thursday. No, he said Friday. I was like, for real? I was like, let's go out to eat. I was like, you already told me. And he started laughing. He goes, no, I'm not ready. I'm just playing. I was like, Dad, please. I was like, I really want you to meet him. And then he was like, no, I'm not ready. So I'm like, I got, like, probably, like, kind of mad, because I'm like, why is it that he doesn't want to meet him? Like, because I guess he wasn't ready, like, because I'm like his only little girl. So then I was like, all right, I guess. So then I kept bugging him, and I told my mom, I was like, well, my dad already said Friday. So I started planning it. And keep in mind, it was the week of, it was February 15th when he met my dad. Well, my family. And February 4th, well, it was Valentine's Day. It was the day before Valentine's Day. So I remember that day, we had went to, I was here at my house, and I had told him that we were gonna go out to eat. And he was like, well, ask your dad for permission. I was like, okay. But I'm like, I'm not gonna tell him, oh, I'm gonna go out to eat with my friends, because he's not gonna believe it. It's Valentine's Day. So I'm like, you know what, let me just go ahead and tell him that I'm gonna go out to eat with him. I'm using the Tarte Shape Tape concealer. I use this to prime my eyes. So I ended up telling him, like, I tried calling my dad, and he was, well, I called him, and he was like, yeah, what happened? And I'm like, hey, I was like, well, it's Valentine's Day. I was like, can I go out to eat with Rodrigo? And he hung up on me. He literally, like, just hung up on me. He's like, I gotta go. I gotta get back to work. So I'm like, what the hell? So he hung up, and then I was calling him, and he never answered. Like, he never answered me. And I'm like, are you serious? Like that? I'm like, answer me. Like, I want to go out to eat with him. So keep in mind, I'm trying to call him, and my mom is on the phone with him in her room. So I go to her room, and I'm like, hey, who are you talking to? And she was like, your dad. And I'm like, let me talk to him. So when I grabbed the phone, he was like, he was playing. He was like, no seas mal educada, like, don't be disrespectful. He's like, I'm talking to your mom right now. And I'm like, no. I was like, let me just ask you something. And he's like, what? I was like, can I go out to eat with him? And he was like, no. I'm like, why? He's like, can I go with you? And I'm like, yeah, let's go. Like, I was like, I don't care. And he was like, okay. He goes, we'll start getting ready. He goes, I'm gonna go with y'all. He goes, I'm just gonna get home and take a shower and get ready. And my mom was in the back laughing, like, she was just cracking up. She's like, are you serious? And he was like, yeah. He goes, I'm gonna get ready, and we're all gonna go eat. And I'm like, okay. Like, I was like, all right. I was like, at least I'm gonna be able to go see him. I was like, that way he gets to meet him. And he was like, so I ended up getting ready, and then he got here from work, and then he's like, where are you going? Like, I had already done my makeup and everything. He's like, where are you going? And I'm like, to go out to eat with Rodrigo. I'm like, hurry up. I was like, get ready. He goes, I'm not gonna go with you. And I was like, you said you were gonna go. He's like, no. He's like, you're not going either. And I got mad. I was like, why? Like, you told me, like, I'm already ready. And like, I started telling him, I'm gonna use a Jaclyn Hill. Like, I literally messed his palette up. So I ended up going and telling him, like, I was like really upset. Like, I was like, come on, Dad. But he was just playing, like, he was playing with me. But like, it hurt my feelings, because I was already ready, and like, he was already about to be ready. Like, so we ended up going, so I usually just use these two. I'm not sure the names, but I use these two to basically, like, not so much prime my eyelid, but it's gonna be like a base color on my eyelid. So we ended up going, and I was here at my house, and I was like, why can't I go? Like, he's already almost ready, and you know what I mean? Like, I really want to go. And he was like, no, you're not gonna go. He was like, you need he's like, you don't need it. You need to go out to eat. There's food here. So he was just playing with me, and I got like upset. But he ended up telling me, he's like, all right, go. He's like, but don't be home late. So I'm like, okay. So I remember when I got here, when my fiance came to pick me up, I had told my dad, I was like, well, I'm leaving already. And he's like, do you have money? And I'm like, no, I don't need money. Like, because my fiance told me, he goes, oh, I'm gonna pay. And my dad's like, what do you mean you don't need money? And I'm like, yeah. I was like, I don't need money. Like, he's gonna pay. He goes, you don't need no man to pay for you. He goes, go get money out of my wallet or out of my pocket. And I'm like, no, Dad, I'm fine. I'm like, I don't need money. I'm like, I'm okay. He's like, you don't need him to pay for you. Like, that's why I'm here. So he ended up just like getting like upset. He was like, you know what? He was like, get the money. He goes, you're gonna pay for your own plate. And I'm like, he goes, y'all are just friends. And I'm like, oh my God. And I was laughing. And then he started laughing. So he ended up making me take the money. He was like, take the money. He goes, pay for yourself. So we're there. I got here and I remember he got me like a big monkey. Like, it was huge. Well, I still have it. He got me like a huge monkey, and then he got me some flowers. And he got me like a vase, like a long vase full of my favorite chocolates. And like a lot of things, like a lot of little things. And he got me a card. So I was like all happy. We ended up going to eat at BJ's. I don't know if y'all have heard of that. It's a restaurant. We ended up going to eat at BJ's, and we waited a long time. Like, that's why this year we didn't even go out to eat for Valentine's Day, because I'm like, I'd rather just stay home. Like, we ended up getting the food, and it was on top of waiting like an hour or 2 hours, we still waited for our food. And then on top of that, it was so cold. I was like, no, like, I don't want to go through that again. So we ended up going to and we ate, and then we took pictures, and then I went home because it was late. And my dad was like, you know, I don't want you home late. So I was like, all right, that's fine. So him of course, he was like, you gotta get home early. Like, I don't want your dad to get mad. I don't want to give him a bad impression. Like, you have to get home early. I'm like, okay. I'm gonna go in with this color on my crease. So we had on my inner corner. I mean outer corner. So we ended up getting home, and then on top of that, on top of him getting me a big ass bear, he got me so many balloons, because I love balloons. Like, I love balloons with a passion. I don't know why. I just love them. I don't like them when they pop, but I like a lot of balloons. So he got me like 20 balloons. Like, he got me a lot of balloons. So we went to we ended up going to, he brought me home, and I got home, and I remember I walked into my dad's room with all of my things, and my dad turned around, and I'm like, Dad, and then he turned around, he looked at the monkey, he was like, didn't I tell you not to bring him inside? I was like, oh, okay. And I was laughing. I was like, are you serious? So then my mom was like, oh, that's so cute. So wait, did I? Sorry guys, my phone was about to die. But yeah, he ended up bringing me home, and we went. I went into the room. My dad saw the bear, and he was like in shock, but he started like making jokes about it. He was like, didn't I tell you not to bring him inside? I was like, oh, okay. So my mom was like, oh, it's so cute, and da-da-da-da. So fast forward to the next day. I was excited, but I was nervous. Like, I was so nervous. Like, I was like, what are they gonna think about him? Like I was like really, really nervous. But I was like, oh my God, like, he's finally gonna meet my parents. Like, this is the first guy that has ever met my parents. Like, I was so, and my brothers, I was so nervous. I'm gonna go back in with the Tarte, and I'm gonna cut my crease. So I was like really, really nervous. So he ended up going, and I remember that day I had went. I'm trying to remember if I was still in school. Yeah, because he went to my graduation, and he met my parents. Yeah, I was still in school. So that day I went to school or whatever, and I was like really nervous. Like, I was so nervous. So then we ended up, I came home, and I remember that day I was upset because my dad had, like, I think he started drinking at work. So I was like, are you serious? Like, you know you're supposed to meet him today. Like, why are you gonna do that? But I don't think so. I don't remember. I don't know. So then I came home, and I got ready like quick. Like, I was like, I did my makeup, and I was like so nervous. And I remember my dad was still at work, and so was my mom. So I was like, he was still at work too. Because first we're planning on making like a carne asada, like a cookout here at my house. But I'm like, no, my dad was like, no, let's just go out to eat. So I'm like, okay. So we ended up just going, no. Can't talk. Okay, let me do this off camera now. Okay, so we ended up, sorry guys, I'm back. I did it off camera because it's so hard to line it, and then like I'm clumsy and I won't be able to. I have to like stay still and not move. Like when I drink, like I can't walk and drink. I have to like stop and then drink. But basically we ended up going out to eat. We went to Guadalajara. I can't tell you where it is because I don't even know where it is. We ended up going, we went out to eat, and then okay, so I'm gonna go in with this color, with this brush, like at the edge. So we ended up going to, yeah, we went to Guadalajara. We went to go eat. And I remember when, you know, I'm gonna use this brush. This one. It's like a corner brush. I see everybody doing this on YouTube, but we ended up going to Guadalajara. We're gonna go eat or whatever, and then, but look, this what happened. I remember when he, oh no. Let me see. Oh, we're good. So we ended up just going, and I remember whenever my dad had told me, he was like, are you gonna ride with us, or is he gonna come and pick you up? And I was like I'll just ride with, like, I asked him, I was like, hey, do you want me to just meet you there? He's like, I don't know where it is. So I'm like, okay, like, just come and pick me up, and then we can like drive behind my dad. And then he was like, all right. So we ended up going, and I remember we went, and I was so nervous because when he got here, this color is so ugly. When we got here, we went to, okay, give me a second. So when he got here, I remember, like, I was nervous. I was like so nervous. Like, we went, he got here, and I was already ready, but my parents were in their room. So like I tried to rush. Like, I was like, okay, I'll see y'all over there. Like, or like we'll wait for you in the truck, or like, I was so nervous. And my mom was like, oh, we're leaving already. And I was like, oh, like, okay, like I was trying to rush, and I was like, no, like, I'll just see y'all over there. And I noticed that my brother, my second oldest brother, Alex, he was already walking out. And I was like, and he was outside, and I'm like, oh my god. So I told my dad, I was like, okay, I'm not ready, like, let's just keep it how it was, like, just, and my dad was like, calm down, like, it's gonna be okay. And like, the only reason why I was scared is because I know like how my brothers are, and I know how overprotective they are, and like, I don't know, like, I was just nervous. So my dad was like, just calm down, like, everything is gonna be fine. And I'm like, no, like, you know, we'll just do this another day, like, I'm not ready. Like, I was like so nervous. So then my brother ended up walking out, and then my fiance, he decided to stand outside. Like, he got off of his truck, and he was standing by his truck. So when I was walking out, I didn't know until I was walking out, and I look up, and I see him like standing right there in front of his truck. I'm like, oh my god. I was like, no, Dad. I'm like, I'm not ready, let's just go back inside, like, let's go watch a movie, let's go, you know what I mean? Like, I wasn't ready. I was so nervous, dude. Like, you have no idea. Like, even my dad was laughing at me because of how nervous I was. So I was like, oh my god, why did he get off the truck? So my dad turned around, and he had forgot his watch, no, his bracelet. So my mom was in the room, so I like ran outside, and I'm like, Dad, I told Dad, I was like, hey, I was like, just get in the truck, let's go. He was like, no. He was like, I want to meet your parents, like, right now. I'm like, no, like, we're good, like, just get in the truck, you'll meet them at the what's it called, at the restaurant. He was like, no, like, I want to meet them right now. And I was like so nervous. And then my brother was like standing right there by my sister-in-law's car, and I'm like, oh my god, like, I was like so nervous, like you have no idea. So then I ended up telling him, I was like, hey, like just get in the truck, like we'll meet them right now, like at the restaurant, like just get in the truck. He was like, no. So then I ended up turning around, my dad was walking out, and I'm like, oh my god. So like I was hoping for my dad to get in the truck, but no, he didn't. He walked over there where he was, and I was just standing right there. Like I honestly feel like I was sweating, like that's how nervous I was. I was so nervous, like you have no idea. So we ended up going, and my mom was like, Alex. And then my brother Alex, he's the type where he like stands like with his chest out. Like he went up to him, he's like, Alex, like with the deepest voice ever. Like I was like, oh my god. And then he was like, Rodrigo. And then he met my sister-in-law too, and my sister-in-law like shook his hand. And my other brother was gonna meet us at the restaurant. And then my brother Jason, he actually works from home, so he wasn't able to go to meet him. He met him, I think, later that night when we got back from the restaurant. He ended no, I'm lying. I don't remember. I think he met him later that night, or he met him like on Saturday, on the next weekend. Because he even texted me, he's like, I'm sorry, like I'm working, like I'm not able to go. So I was all right, like it's fine, like I understood. So we ended up getting to the restaurant, and my other brother was already there, and he was already sitting down. So we go inside. I think he was already sitting down, or we walked inside, I don't remember. So we go inside, and he says hi, and like it's quiet, like it's so quiet. Like I'm just sitting there like so nervous, like I'm just like I don't know how to start a conversation. I don't know what to say. Like, so like my brother, like my older brother Junior, he talks a lot, like me. I'm like, I talk a lot sometimes, but like he knows how to start a conversation. So I ended up starting a conversation, and he started asking, and he started telling him like, oh bro, like I know where you work, like being all weird. And then he was like my fiance just started laughing. So we ended up like just going, we're eating, and then I remember my brother ended up telling him, he was like, hey bro, like he was just being goofy with him. I was like, okay, we're getting somewhere. And I was still nervous, like I was still nervous. So then I think the time when I stopped being nervous is when they bought him a beer. That's when I knew like, oh, like he's accepted, because they bought him a beer. Like my brothers bought him a beer, and we ended up just eating. And I remember this lady, I don't know if you've ever, like when you go to those like the Michoacana or like Mexican restaurants, like at night there's always like people like giving, like selling flowers and stuff. So he ended up buying me flowers, and because my brother was like, bro, you better buy my sister flowers. But he was playing, like my brother plays a lot. So my fiance started laughing, and he bought me flowers, and I'm like, no, like you don't have to. He was like, no, like I actually did want to buy you flowers. So I'm like, oh, okay. So then he ended up buying them for me. And we left, and then everybody was, oh, let's go to my brother's house. But then it was already late. I think it was like around 1. So we didn't end up going. We ended up just going home. And then like I kept asking my mom, like, what do you think about him? And my mom was like, he's sweet, like he's really sweet, like I know, like he, like you can see it, like that he really likes you. And I was like, oh. And like ever since then, like I feel like they've been like so close. Like my brother he takes his side more than he takes my side. Like my brother, like, oh, like my brothers are always asking for him, like where is he, like I don't know, is he gonna, well, when he like is he gonna come, or yeah. They ended up becoming like really cool. I remember once my older brother Junior, he was like because he has my fiance has Uh, it's 3 older sisters, then it's him, then it's his 2 little brothers, and then it's his little sisters. So in total of them, it's 7. So I remember whenever he told me, he was like, my brother was like, why don't we just trade you? Like, you go with his sister since you're close to his sister, and we keep him. I'm like, wow, thanks. Like, what a great brother. But yeah, like they became real cool. They became cool. I'm gonna use the No Pore Blem. This one. I got it in my BoxyCharm. But yeah, like ever since then, like, cause I remember when I used to see him, like I used to try to see him, like it was so hard because I'll be only able to see him like once a week, or not even like every 3 weeks I'll see him. Or well, when I first started talking to him, but then like when we ended up going out, I would see him like probably like once, 2 times a week. And my brother knew, my second oldest, he'll be like, bro, you cannot go out to eat every week with your friends. Like, I know you don't. And I'll be like, yes, I do. Like, they're my friends. He's like, nah, you're lying, and da-da-da. I was like, nah, whatever. I was like, I know I go out to eat with them. He goes, no, you don't. No, you don't. I'm like, yes, I do. So, it was so hard. It was like really, really hard to see him. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with the Morphe. I usually mix these two because I got this one at Marshall's. It was like $12, and I got it like it's like my shade, but I don't really like putting it all over my face because I feel like it's so heavy. So I mixed this one and I mixed this one, because this one's a little bit too dark, and I feel like this one's like more light on my face, and this one's like real heavy. So I don't really put that much. I just use it to like make them like make it blend like in my face. And then I make another heart. And then I do this one. This one I just dot all over my face. But yeah, my brothers are real. At first, when he became my fiance, they weren't really cool with it. But then, like, they ended up accepting it. I am engaged, actually. Don't have a date yet. Haven't even started planning yet. But I am engaged. But yeah, like now, I see him like every day. Legit every day. He gets out of work and he comes and sees me. So I'm actually going to be using the lashes from Dash of Dough lashes. I love these lashes. Like, these are the only lashes that I actually use. I'm really picky about my lashes. Like, I actually like them because they're really thick. From like the lash line, they're really thick, and you can reuse them. Like, just clean them and you can reuse them. I think I've used these like about more than 5 times. I'm not lying to you. I use their glue too. Well, the glue that they send. You know what I'm talking about though? Let me see if they send me some. They're like, it's like a subscription that I use. I use it, I think it's like around $28 a month, and you get, oh yeah, this is the glue that I use, the eye liquid glue. It's really good. Like, I promise it's so good. Like, you literally will be, you would wear your lashes will not fall like at all. Look at it. And they send you 4 lashes. There's different type of lashes. As you can see, these are so pretty. I love these. Okay. So after I put I have like so many of these. I have 2 in my boyfriend's truck. I have 1 in my truck, I think. But I don't have any here. That makes no type of sense. Alexa, play. Sorry guys, I got rudely interrupted. Oh. Alexa, play. Y era un pajarillo de la casa, ladrando en balcón, de plaza en plaza, llora de amor, porque se ora para el mejor postor de su tonada. Se le arrugó la piel y el maquillaje suficiente no fue para taparle la huella que dejó. El sexto invierno se le acabó el color y hasta el aliento de las 8 harán 10. Solo en la esquina se quedó aquel farol y aquella esquina la rosa no sé yo. ¿Dónde se irían? Se llamaba, no sé. Y sonreía y era un pajarillo de blancas alas de balcón en balcón, de plaza en plaza. So I'm gonna go back with the dark color that I used. Wait, no, I went down. I forgot what color I used. Well, I'm gonna go back with the dark color, my under eye. And before I start doing makeup, I would not do my under eye, and I felt like my eyes look so naked when I look back at my pictures. But then I think about it, I really don't have that much pictures when I used to do my makeup. Because you know how people do like the glow ups, like before and after. I'm not about to embarrass myself like that. eyes get so itchy. The eyelashes tickle my eye. And then I don't want to scratch it because okay. Going with the Beige Cosmetic, the Stella Lash. I actually really like this one. I don't know why. No, not yet. I'm gonna do my bottom, the dark. I actually, to hurry up because my nephews go to school at 3:40. I have to go get them. The bus stop. Almost time. Okay. So I don't know if I should go with white eyeliner or black eyeliner. I'll go black. Going with these eyelashes. Ah, it's itchy. Oh my god, I feel like I look evil. I usually put it on the top the most I can, but because I don't know how to do top eyeliner, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't. I've tried and I've tried and I've tried. It takes practice, but pretty hard. Okay. So now I'm gonna take off the powder on my bottom cheeks. Bear with me, guys. I feel like this video is not gonna go up till like 2 days after, maybe 3, because I do not know how to edit at all. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna look up YouTube videos on how to edit because I do not know how to edit. Okay, so after this, I use the same Jaclyn Hill palette and I go back with a little tiny pointy brush. This one. I got these brushes from Beige Cosmetics. This one, and then I go in, I don't know if you can see, but I really dig into this color here. It's like a shimmer, and I always use this as my inner corner, always. See, I use it as my inner corner. I remember one time I went to Mexico and I forgot. I was in a rush. We were going to a party. And I went to Bronzo. And we're going to a party. And I forgot to put on inner corner. I feel like my eyes. Sorry guys. I actually finished my look off camera because I had to hurry up and go get my nephews from the bus stop. But yeah, I used the Bremer Rock highlight. I used this one. It's so pretty. But yeah, like I was saying, I forgot to put inner corner at the party, and my eyes were like really small, like so small. But yeah, this is the finished. Well, no, not yet. Wait. I usually put a lip gloss on. I don't really put on I put on lipstick, but I honestly prefer lip gloss. And I'm using this lip liner from Ulta. I got like a little, my aunt gave it to me. It's like a little package, and it has like a bunch of Ulta lip, it has eyeshadows, and she gave it to me for Christmas. But like it has a Ulta, it has like brushes, it has like lip liners and all of that, and eyeshadows. I use the lip liner because I never ever, before I used to never wear lip liners, but I guess since I got it I started wearing it. But I use it with lip gloss. And of course, all of my lipsticks are in my fiance's truck. Jesus Christ. I always leave all of my stuff in his truck. I'm mad because I cannot find it. Low key, I be wearing this as my lip gloss. Here's your thing. Yeah, it's fine. So this is the finished look.
Boy, if you don't.
But yeah. Now I have to do my hair. I'll be back. Hi guys, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you like my get ready me and my story time. Any other videos you want me to do, just comment down below. Also, please give me a like, subscribe, and turn on your bell notifications so you can get notified every time I post a new video. Follow me on Instagram, follow me on Snapchat. I'll leave it down below. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video.